Thank you to our sponsor, Rocket RX.
Do you ever experience erectile dysfunction? You're not alone.
I think we all know that. Get trusted, FDA-approved erectile dysfunction treatments at a lower price than branded alternatives.
Delivered straight to your door in discreet and plain packaging, no in-person appointments or pharmacy visits needed.
Discreet and plain. For listeners, you can get 20% off your first order with the code GOODCHILDREN.
Go to rocketrx.com and enter code GOODCHILDREN at checkout for 20% off your first order. Follow the link in the description.
Joe, I mean, you really are serving spring.
Well, spring has sprung. It's almost sprunger.
I'm sprung.
Immediately?
It's like immediately.
The second thing you say?
I don't know why I just do that.
Sorry, I'm chewing gum. I'm just going to swallow up.
Well, that sucks. I mean, that's going to stay in your system for 7 years.
Do you believe that?
I don't believe that. I think that with your digestive system, that will be gone in give it 2 days.
So far you've said you're sprung, and now you're discussing my digestive system.
Well, yeah. Well, yes.
This was supposed to be about my outfit.
And I think that your outfit is really amazing, and I don't think that you understand that you can wear that any day of the week.
No, I feel like it's like one of those things. Like I've had these pants for like a year. I finally got the shirt to match it because it was like 85% off, and together I just don't necessarily see many social situations that one could wear like a full body floral beige cream.
You were saying a wedding, and I think
could see myself in a wedding. I could see myself going to a wedding like
kind of
this.
threw me for a loop.
Well, where else? Like a summer, like okay, like
a wedding,
like a very chic, like a gay wedding. It can't be straight people. It needs to be like a gay wedding, and it needs to be like very cute and chic and like very casual.
And it needs to be happening in the month of April to May.
Why can't I wear this in the summer? Why can't I wear this in the winter?
I mean, I guess you can wear it in the winter. It would just be a little bit shocking.
Why? It's not like
I don't have the answer to every question.
But it's not like I'm wearing like a shirt that says like Happy Spring. It has flowers on it.
It might not say those words, but it's implying those words. I mean, it's amazing, though.
I actually never want to talk to you again after this.
You're kidding.
Like, I think this is probably the end for me.
Okay.
And this is the end of my road. But
oh no.
No, it's fine. I think it's fine. I'm not worried about it. Here we are.
Here we are again at Spotify Studios. We have a residency. I feel.
They want us out. We won't leave.
We won't leave.
I'll move in here.
This couch is. When I sat down for the third time, I was
That's
like,
home.
This is literally home.
It really is
sinking.
home. It really, really is home. And it is so crazy that we have again hoodwinked them and fooled them into thinking we deserve to be in this space.
And
so I'm so grateful.
Very, very grateful. Can't wait to chat with our guest today.
Yeah, we have a very special guest. Really, truly, we're becoming
a drag
the
pod.
Secondary pit stop. We're becoming the secondary whatcha-packin'. We are truly connoisseurs of the art form that is drag.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And as two gay men with Delusion, I think
Yes.
that we're actually the perfect people
Yes.
to keep bringing on like some of the most
iconic
talented,
drag queens.
iconic, like well-decorated drag queens of all time.
Yes.
Because that's us.
We're the most talented.
Yeah, it's just peers.
I completely agree.
You know what I mean?
And that's why we get along with them so well. Like,
They're
we're
business women.
Yes.
They're entrepreneurs.
Yes.
They're
dancers.
They're dancers.
They're performers.
Yeah.
And I think every single day is a performance for our lives. It's a lip sync for our lives. When
I have been lip syncing for my life since the day I was born.
Yes.
In so many ways, it makes me sick.
It makes me sick. And I think that, like, again, having these conversations with unbelievable drag talent superstars that are taking over the world. I think for us as Linda and Deborah,
You always forget my name.
I do.
And it just kind of feels pointed.
Well,
today we are so excited to have on our very special guest, the one, the only Kim Chi. Thank you so much for being on the pod today.
Have you started recording?
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, okay.
You're like, no.
Okay. Don't say anything problematic now.
Or please do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever works. Truly.
Yeah, get me canceled.
Yeah. Imagine.
That's
Children
what I came here for,
episode
to
got
get
you.
canceled.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It feels so surreal to be here with y'all because, in LA, there's like a lot of traffic. So I always put on a podcast. And there's a lot of time to listen to podcasts on the road. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are definitely one of my favorites. So
That is so
Thank you. That
crazy.
means
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one of our favorites.
Oh,
This
thank
is
you.
a huge deal for us.
I can't imagine too, like driving. First of all, we've been driving a lot, obviously in the city, and it's just stressful in general. But then listening to our voices on top of that stressful traffic, good for you.
it's the only thing, that makes traffic tolerable.
The
I feel like I'm
headspace.
not, and
Yeah.
I feel like in the edit we're not conducive to pleasurable listening experiences in a car. Like I feel like I'm throwing in noises and screens and like.
But that's what I want.
Yeah.
I'm
you know?
glad.
Yeah. Wait, so when you're in LA, do you even go get food every episode? Like when you're recording here?
Which is
See,
such a shame.
that's the one thing.
We honestly, we didn't even like bake that in because we really could have because
Yeah.
we've been eating.
Yeah.
Oh, and
What, do you have
that's-
any recommendations? We're staying in Silver Lake.
Okay, Silver Lake is the food area.
Yeah.
Especially it's great if you don't drive.
Yeah.
Because there's no parking.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But All Day Baby's great.
Yes,
Okay.
we went there last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like a fun, like
It
little.
was like a pop-up night there. It wasn't their normal menu.
Yeah.
But it was very good.
If you're into Japanese food, Osen Izakaya is really good.
Okay.
Is that also in Silver Lake?
It is also in Silver Lake. And then they're known for their skewers of like various meat, but it's done perfectly. If you go get the chicken skin on a skewer,
Ooh,
they get it so crispy and has like the perfect marinade. It is chef's kiss.
Oh, stop. We're gonna go.
Every time I go Naomi Smosen, I get like 5 of those.
Yeah.
The scallop one is good. The shrimp one is good. The bacon wrapped scallops. It's all
A
good.
bacon wrapped scallop is actually kind of all I ever need.
I'm recently getting into scallops. I feel like I was scared of them for so long for no reason. I'm scared of a lot of foods. For
Yeah,
no
but I
reason.
always know that. I know when you're scared of something and it's like you just need to try it
because I
you
love
it.
food. Like
Yeah.
I'd love to eat. It's my favorite thing to do, literally ever. But scallops always freaked me the fuck out.
I always
But
tell
now-
people, it's okay to like be afraid of something, but
Yeah.
at least try it.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, you don't have to try it again. But
Nothing is worse than a picky eater.
No.
Like being at dinner with people who like will not eat the food that's on the table. I'm like, what are
oh
you
my god,
doing?
tell me about it. Like when I lived in Chicago, people in Chicago, like in the Midwest, they're not that picky. Maybe they're picky about seafood because a lot of them haven't like come in contact with
Yeah.
seafood.
Right.
But I moved to LA and oh my god, throwing a potluck here, it is like the most insane experience.
Really?
Everybody has so much like weird dietary restrictions, you know?
Yeah.
So then everyone just like by default brings things that are like vegan friendly or that doesn't have dairy
Right.
because there's always going to be like several people, you
Yeah.
know, that
And say what you want, it's just never gonna be the same. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to be for the vegans out there. Listen, we see you, we hear you, but that cheese just doesn't hit the same.
No, it really doesn't.
No.
And then one time for a potluck, I made this like Chinese stewed like dongpo pork, which is like a stewed pork belly, and I got like the really good cut of meat. I spent a lot of time on it, and it came out perfectly. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna love this.
Yeah.
And then I forgot the crowd that I was cooking for, and no one touched it.
No.
And I was like, do you guys want to try
Nothing
the
worse.
dongpo pork I made? And they're like, we don't eat that. And I was like,
Oh no, those would never be my friends again. That'd be it.
The
That'd
thing
be-
about
I can
us,
hold
though-
a fucking grudge.
we would have ate the whole thing because the
Oh.
thing about us, even if we didn't want to eat it, we would never turn down someone saying,
I would never turn down
made this.
food in front of me, no matter what.
No, ever.
Yeah.
If you came over my house and I made something and you were like, no, I'm not gonna eat that.
That would be actually the end of our friendship.
that's why I love you guys.
Yeah.
And then even having gay friends here, not only like they're vegans, but then there's the gays
Yeah.
who, if they're gonna go out, they don't eat too much in case like they bottom and
Yeah.
they get trade, or like the gays that are like on like high protein diet or they're in keto.
It's all too
There's
much.
almost
Yeah.
so many parameters. Do you do a lot of cooking?
I love cooking.
Yeah.
So it started to like during the pandemic. I mean, I've always cooked always loved cooking, but during pandemic is where I like really popped up like most people.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it got to a point where I'm like, I actually think I cook better food than like a lot of like crappy restaurants now.
A lot of crappy.
would you
The bar
ever-
is so low. Like, the
No,
bar
but
is
you
on
know,
the
like-
floor.
I mean, it's all subjective, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
but
Would you ever open a restaurant?
no.
Okay.
Okay.
I worked as a server for many, many years.
Yeah.
And every restaurant, there's always so much drama.
Yeah.
Front of the
What
house,
is
back of the house. There's like host drama, there's server drama, there's kitchen drama.
It's not worth it.
No.
No.
And on top of that, when you own a restaurant, you're basically like responsible for the restaurant like till it closes.
Yeah.
And I'm someone like I can't do the same thing every day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which like restaurant is just like a lot of like
Understandable.
And
Right.
even if you own it too, like you never know. Yeah, to your point, like there's so many things that go on in there, and you don't want to be responsible for what's happening in there if you're not there.
exactly.
Too. But it's just like we've talked about wanting to open up a restaurant. Obviously, we're delusional, but like we that's definitely down the line, hopefully. But it's nice to like see your creative visions come to life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. I think with food for us,
But
is,
it's also
like,
nice to not monetize every single thing.
Yeah,
Respect
I know. We're
that.
like money.
But I like
money.
the idea of being able to open a restaurant and create with the concept.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I want to open up a bubble tea shop called Kim Tea.
oh my god,
Wouldn't that be
Duh.
so cute?
Yeah, that's so good.
And then I like actually want to go work at a boba shop to like gain experience.
Yeah.
But then I was like, if fans saw me working at a boba shop, would they think like
You're
I
Nikki
failed as a
Blonsky
drag
in
queen?
Hairspray.
Like and my makeup is like I can just imagine like
But it could be
TikTok's
like,
like-
Lana. It's like Lana at the Waffle,
Waffle House, yes.
You know, that could be your moment, your Waffle House moment.
but I'm just like scared. You know, there's always going to be that one TikTok that gets uploaded. Like I went to a
Yeah.
boba shop and I saw kimchi working
Yeah.
there. I guess it didn't work
Yeah.
out for her. You know,
Kimchi's
that's like my
flopping.
biggest fear.
Kimchi in her flop era.
Yeah.
You just
No, I think
stitch
you should
it.
absolutely
You're like,
do
actually,
it.
bitch, welcome to Kim T. It's
Yeah.
amazing PR. If
Right?
that- because listen,
We'd
that
upload
goes
the video.
viral.
Let's do it.
That goes viral. Everyone's talking about you. The next week you announce the business opening. Everyone's there. Actually, I would do that.
That's the first time I talked about it. So if it does get manifested, you heard it here
Stop.
first, folks.
This is a
Oh.
Good Children exclusive.
Uh-huh.
I can't even believe.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
So when I was young, I wanted to be a wedding dress designer.
Really?
Okay.
Um,
What inspired that?
because I thought it was always cool to see like brides like feel beautiful, even like people that don't normally dress up.
Yeah.
Like when they put on the wedding dress, like that's where like they feel fantasy. And for a lot of women, that's like the only time in their life they ever truly feel glamorous.
Yeah.
You know, whether by choice or not.
Mhm.
And I thought it was cool to like let those dreams like come to life.
Yeah.
But then I ended up going into graphic design because, money.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then,
I mean, you found your way almost back to the start there, I feel like, with drag, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
Which is great.
basically like everything I wear basically looks like a wedding dress. So, yeah.
And just that concept, I feel like, of like those moments of being glamorous. Like, I do feel like when my sister's wedding, I was like, I want you to know that you were in full drag. I was like, your face is painted on, like everything about this is drag. And she obviously is a straight woman who took that as an insult. But I was like, no, you're giving. Like, this is
Yeah.
an amazing
Yeah.
day. But it is like the one day of a woman's life where they get to do full drag.
And like they don't have to apologize or like feel bad
No,
about it.
no.
They can go full on,
Full diva
and no
mode.
one's gonna question you.
Yeah.
And they
You know,
like,
like,
find their personality in the dress too. I remember my sister when she was going dress shopping, she was like, I'm never wearing a ball gown. I'll never be in the Cinderella. She walks out in the poofiest dress I've ever seen. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a princess. But yeah, it is amazing. Or were you a Say Yes to the Dresser? Did you watch that show on TLC?
so with those shows, I never watched them because man, people just get so entitled and like
Yeah.
bratty about it.
I agree.
And if I want to watch that, like I watch Housewives.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was almost like too real at the expense of like people like just working all these like wedding businesses.
Yeah.
You know.
The one part that was nice was just seeing the joy in their faces.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh my god, this is the
When they do get the
one."
right
Even though
dress,
I'm like,
yeah.
"You're doing it
Yeah.
for the camera," and I would do the same
At
thing.
Kleinfeld's.
Yeah, at Kleinfeld.
Everyone growing up in like on Long Island, did your sister go to Kleinfeld's?
She did.
Everyone went to that store.
She didn't
growing
get the
up,
dress
like-
from
like,
there, but she
to try on dresses. I think to hopefully get on the show
Yeah.
was everyone's goal.
Because like I feel like with going to Kleinfeld's, at least the people I've talked to, like you have to say who you're going with, like give them a little synopsis about yourself, and they choose
It's
you
like
if
a
you're good
working
TV.
studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. Which I think that it brings out the worst in people, of course. TV.
Of course.
It's just the goal
What was your favorite like wedding dress moment
in like
media?
pop culture
Yeah.
history. I love Carrie Bradshaw.
I was just gonna say that. Yes.
That is the one you have to think of immediately.
When, like you see all the dresses and you're like, oh, they're pretty, but then the Vivienne Westwood
Yes.
comes
Oh,
out.
come on.
Uh,
I watched it in theaters and I was like,
It's like the way it's done, like they just make you fall in love with that moment so
much.
It's so good. And then they brought it back and then just like that.
yeah, which was
I loved.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's my favorite. And yours is also
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the moment.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't think I'm thinking about wedding dresses enough to
Maybe you
really
should
clock.
be looking into that.
I should be. Well, I'm going to leave here and going to be just studying up on wedding
Would
dresses.
you wear a dress at your wedding?
Honestly, I would.
Okay.
What sucks is like I do think that if I was to wear a wedding dress, like I would need it to be a mermaid, and I know I don't.
See, this is what I'm saying. You know the wedding dress you want. You want to wear the dress.
Well, because if I'm gonna be serving body, I'm serving body. I
Right.
need my ass shown.
Or would you be like one of those like tuxedo dress kind of like a moment?
Oh
You're
yes,
right.
yeah, like a Billy Porter moment. Yeah.
Right. Because I do love like a big poof. I do,
Yeah.
but we need tight. I need tight hips.
You need cinch,
I
you
need
need that,
curves.
yeah.
I need that.
You're dying to cinch.
I've been, yeah, no, literally, my whole life I've been trying to cinch.
Yeah, you always have.
But soon enough, I'll cinch.
You'll cinch. I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that Andrew is truly like a baby queen in the making.
And why hasn't it happened yet?
I don't. I
Are you in
really.
denial like most
Yeah,
people?
I think that's what it is. Honestly, I think that I've been in denial since I've been in 8th grade when I was doing drag as Linda Calamari.
Do you feel like you're gonna fall in love with the art once you actually start?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I'm like in my room pretending like like I'm lip syncing for my life. And I'm also like, I think where I struggle is I don't really have any like design expertise. I know what I would want it like to like look like, but the execution for me is where I would struggle.
I mean, for me, it's a lie where they say like you have to be good at everything
Yeah.
in drag. As long as like you have a thing
Yeah.
and you're good at that thing, there are people that can dress you and help you
Of
look
course.
better. So,
But I would need to know, like, I would have to go into some sewing, like, boot camps because I wouldn't.
I mean, unless you're trying to get on Drag Race, honestly, you don't need to.
True. Well,
Like, I mean, are you trying to get on
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's unfortunate about me, if I'm gonna start something, like I need to get to like the end
And you need to become
game.
the best at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
When you do
that's-
Miss Continental, I can't wait.
Stop.
Oh my God.
I could easily see that happening, actually.
Well, then even when you can be continental, like a lot of those girls, they have someone that paints their face.
Yeah.
They have a
Right.
dresser.
Yeah.
You just need the talent portion. that
And
you need to figure out.
unfortunately, I think you could easily accrue that. You
What?
can get a team of people working on you. How did you make the leap? Was it
leap?
Halloween?
It was Halloween.
Yeah. What was the look?
My best friend at the time was like, "I'm going to do drag for fun on Halloween. Want to do it with me?"
Oh yes, I actually just watched you talk about this in an interview for
Yes.
them.
And you couldn't tell me shit. I found this sweater. Yes, I wore swore the first time in
I
drag.
love that.
It was a red sequin sweater with like white polka dots, and I'm like, I want to be like a concept queen, and this could be like a Mickey Mouse outfit.
Yeah.
Right.
So I bought mini ears, like the cheap ones from like the costume store that was like $5. Put on those ears, put on a flat black wig, put on that sweater
Yeah.
with like a mini skirt, and my drag name was Disney Princess.
Disney Princess is so
Welcome
good.
to the stage.
And everybody told me like, "Oh, lady, you look fabulous," but everybody drunk at the bar, gay, tells you you're fabulous. Of course, yeah.
But listen, that's all you need.
That
that was your
creates like
confirmation.
the confidence, yeah, and the
Yes.
delusion. You're like,
Did
yeah,
it
I
just
am.
like steamroll from there?
I got booked for a show that night.
You're kidding. As Disney.
So I just like stumbled into like a bar, didn't realize there was a drag show happening, and the host of the show was like, "Oh, you ladies look amazing. Do you want to perform here?" And we're like,
And you've
yes.
never done like a lip sync before, nothing.
I've never performed.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
I know.
Kind of the best way to do it.
Yeah.
No pressure. No, like the anticipation would kill me.
Do you
it was
remember
like-
what did you perform to?
The first time I performed, oh my god, it was such a train wreck. Stopped by Spice Girls.
Okay. Love.
Sang all five like
You were
All
all
five
five
parts?
Spice Girls.
yes.
So okay, multiple personality.
Yes. Oh my god. I still think about it and I cringe at
You
how
lose
bad
sleep.
everything was.
No, but that's like again, you did it on the spot. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I actually wish.
You have to start somewhere.
So we're
I mean,
re-traumatizing
you never got it.
experience.
Like it's very different. But like our first live show, you never performed before, and you got
Yeah.
on the stage and you did it.
But that was the anticipation. That's I was
sure.
laid out for a week ill.
I always tell myself like when I get nervous, the worst thing that can happen is public humiliation.
Yeah.
If that's the worst thing.
I've already cried on Drag Race, like
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I think that I genuinely the worst thing that could happen is you're embarrassed. And at the end of the day, at least you tried. Like I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned. Like I would rather humiliate myself in front of hundreds of people than sit in the crowd and wonder what I could have done on stage.
Yeah.
And it's also going to stay with you long. Like once you humiliate yourself, yeah, people will be talking about it for a little bit, but like they're going to eventually forget. You're never going to forget it. So if you like beat yourself up about it, that's the problem. But if you're like, you know what? I'm not going to pay attention to it. No one else is thinking about it right now anyway. Do you still get nervous to perform or no?
I do not, but occasionally, so I never have issue talking.
Yeah.
But when I think about an answer too hard, I tend to stutter. I don't know, it just comes out of nowhere. And even when we were filming the Drag Race finale, we're in all in theater, and there's a part where like the past queens like ask the queens a question, and they give you all the questions beforehand, so you like rehearse the answer.
Yep.
So I was playing the answers over in my head, and then Manila asked, and this never made the air, thank God.
Yeah.
Manila asked me a question, and it was like a very simple question, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Duh, duh, duh, duh."
And you were like,
And the entire theater,
It's
no. No, we're making you relive it. No.
oh my God, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing worse when you're aware of it. Like it's like in those moments, I'm like, I just wish I didn't know that I was embarrassing myself right now. 'Cause then it
Absolutely.
gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Oh God,
It's crazy.
horrible, horrible.
But we're all still here.
We're all still
We
here.
are.
in this beautiful studio, so...
When you were growing up, were you like obviously? Again, thank you for listening. You listen to the podcast. You know that we were like doing these skits and performances our whole lives. Were you like toying around with drag in any capacity? Were you doing your dances, your singing?
I was not toying with the idea of drag, but I've always been like obsessed with females killing it.
Yeah.
So in my bathtub, every time I take a bath, I come out, pretend like I was Ariel, and sing Part of Your World. Oh my God. Or like while American Idol was airing, I pretend like I was Kelly Clarkson singing
A moment like this.
stuff like that there
Oh.
during the big band week.
Yeah.
Or
That's a deep cut.
That
Carrie
is so
Underwood when
good.
she sings Alone, and I heard it for the first time.
Till now.
I always get Oh my God, those moments I'm like, I need to be that girl.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels so powerful and like
Yeah.
so.
Who were your main divas at that time?
I've always been a Celine diva like my entire life. I mean, obviously Kelly.
Right.
I love Fantasia, but I also love Dinah DeGarmo.
Oh,
Diana DeGarmo.
Remember Dinah DeGarmo?
Yes,
She had an
of course.
amazing voice.
She did.
Yeah.
I feel like those American Idol girls in like and just that time period, those were like my crushes for
Yes.
sure growing
Yeah.
up. Like I was not able to identify.
Oh, I was in love with Carrie Underwood.
Were you?
I was in love with Carrie Underwood in a weird way. Even like Siobhan Magnus. I know that was a little bit older,
That's also a really deep cut.
but she's a deep cut. Do you remember her? I think she was season 7. But
I
still,
fell out of American Idol by then,
okay.
unfortunately.
Paris Bennett, season 5. But Fantasia Barrino, obsessed.
Fantasia, yeah.
Did you-
I think an undeniable
Yeah.
talent.
But also Latoya London.
Toy London.
Her Rain on My Parade.
Stop.
I almost
I have
need
to revisit
rewatch.
all of American Idol actually.
The earlier seasons for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like I was just following what was like
Yeah.
being talked about the following day. And
I
not
used to go on
actually-
like LimeWire and then download their performance like sound clips.
What was the first song that you downloaded?
Oh, it's a little shameful. Mandy Moore, I Want to Be With You.
That's an
I don't think that's
amazing
shameful.
option. That's so
I was a
good.
big Mandy Moore like
Yeah.
fan. My Teen Open Diary layout was all Mandy Moore. I was in like Mandy Moore communities.
Wow, so she was like kind of a number one for
Yeah.
you. That's actually really sweet. I'm sure she needed that.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that actually was really good for Mandy Moore. As well as it
Mandy
was
Moore's
good for-
Tangled.
She is
Tangled,
Tangled.
yeah.
She is
Did you love Tangled?
And Only Hope, which is one of like the best underrated. I don't even know if it's underrated.
Well, I
One
don't
of the
know.
best pop songs. Ballads
Only
ever.
Hope.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know it.
We don't know it.
Oh my God.
You've never heard
Well, I
Mandy
guess it's
Moore's Only
underrated.
Hope?
No. Oh, are we?
This is.
I feel
now we're
betrayed.
gonna walk
We're
out. We're canceled.
No, it's not canceled. I am shook, shaken, and stirred.
Yeah.
There is a portion of like that pop culture that I feel like we missed because it was like we were not like I got once Disney Channel took over for me, anything that was like real music and like people making things was shut out of my brain. It was
Okay.
just like Hannah Montana and Raven Simone, and that was
Yeah.
it.
I mean, Disney Channel was so iconic.
It was.
Do you think we'll ever get like a documentary like Nickelodeon's going through right now? From
I
Disney?
really hope not. Like, it makes me sick about the fact that Disney Channel could also have been the same thing.
Well, it kind of was.
Yeah.
Because they hired that guy on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, you're right.
So there is shit that I'm sure something will be in the works. To your point, I also hope not. Like I hope it wasn't as bad
Yeah.
as Nick was.
Nickelodeon, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick never gave me. I never felt great vibes watching Nickelodeon. Like there was always
But I
It was
mean,
always on the surface.
it's definitely like the fact that those kids were working that. Like, I sometimes think about Miley Cyrus, and I'm like, the fact that she was pumping out that much like content and songs every single episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that girl was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine doing that. I'm 28.
I remember her talking about her work schedule at that age, and it was like wake up like at 6 a.m., like get into hair makeup, go on set, wrap the episode, like record a song, like go do press for 2 hours, go home, wake up, start tour, like like there was like no
Yeah.
school, there was no breaks. It was crazy.
How many times do you have to be in that recording studio and like redoing lyrics?
Yeah, and
doing
she was doing like 2 albums at a time.
it makes me sick. Yeah, no, it makes me sick. And then I spiral, and then I'm like Mary Kate and Ashley.
Well, here we go.
You know what I mean? And then we go there because they had a different album every single second. It was crazy.
All those female or young child stars, the ones like that made out okay. I'm so happy for them.
I know.
Like, you deserve all the success.
Yeah.
If you don't take time off, go take time off.
And like, please take that time.
Yeah.
Yes. The Olsons, I'm happy for the success of the row.
Yes,
You
they
know?
are
Like, I could
doing-
never buy anything from there because it's crazy
Right.
expensive. But I'm
It looks
happy that
great
they
on
have
Jennifer
like, yeah,
Lawrence.
exactly.
Really the only person I've seen truly wear it in action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do kind of wish. You could just we can just take some of these black curtains and drape them around, and
them
it
around.
basically is the row. So aside from like the pop culture that we discussed, what other like niche interests did you have as a kid?
Oh my god, there's so many. When I like discover something, I get like hyper fixated.
Yeah.
And I do it intensely, and I have to be the best at that.
course.
And then I move on. Like, I was into glass blowing,
Really?
but
As a
like on a
kid?
smaller scale, yeah. So then I'll make like glass beads.
That's amazing.
But then I had to quit, unfortunately, because our family was poor, and we couldn't afford like those like glass rods for me to like be like melting and
Yeah.
blowing. So
What age was this that you were doing this?
this was junior in high school.
Okay.
Did you
Wow.
pick that back up now as an adult?
I should.
You
No, I
should.
actually hadn't thought about it until now.
Well, listen, that's your to-do list.
Kimchi releases like different glassware. I actually
At Kim
Like
T,
Pandora,
we
like
are
yeah.
monetizing you. You ready? Kim T, you're making glass.
Yeah.
What are some other interests? that you
So I
have?
was the editor in chief for my high school's yearbook.
Love
Okay.
that.
And in fact, in junior year, I won the best design award for the Michigan Interscholastic Press Association. That is a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
When did you get into graphic design? Did you like learn it yourself?
So basically, I got into yearbook because I needed a reason to like not go home and stay away from home, and it was like an excuse to like stay at school.
Right.
And then yearbook, when they do deadlines, they always throw like deadline parties. So then the teacher would like make food for us, and then we'd watch Food Network all day long, like while you work on yearbook.
Who are your queens on the Food Network?
Oh my god! So at the time was Rachel Ray, Sandra Lee,
Yes.
Jada De Laurentiis,
Of course.
Yeah.
Ina Garten,
Yeah.
all those. So we watched them.
The Mount Rushmore of
Yes.
of
They
mothers.
really are.
We'd love some of them. We'd hate watch some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you hate watching?
Rachel Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel Ray. Oh my
I never
god.
connected with Rachel. I don't know.
I
what
just
it is.
hated
I
how
like,
every episode. Today we're gonna use EVOO, that's extra virgin olive oil. You don't have to say EVOO if you're gonna define it like that.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
She
Every
was the queen
episode.
of like branding a catchphrase.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Yummo. Wasn't that something
Yummo,
she
that
was
was
Yummo,
her.
yes.
Yummo.
Like,
Like
Shut up.
And then $40 a day. You know, she'd go to travels.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like, oh, because to stay on their budget, we're gonna go into this restaurant and order this $2.50 bowl of soup. But then she tipped less than 5%. So then she'd leave like a 25-cent tip on like a $3 bowl
Yeah.
of
you're
soup.
kidding.
No, and it always like made me so mad. And it wasn't like I was like pumping out tips, but I knew better at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
that's horrible that she was
actually.
advertising that.
She's like promoting like bad tipping on like, national
She's like,
television.
She's like,
learn
it's
how
to save money.
yeah.
Save
Just
money
don't
25
tip.
cents.
Honestly, like if you're
crazy.
traveling and if you want to save money, like bring your own food.
Yeah.
You know, make sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like don't go into a restaurant and just get like
Not tip.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I honestly like Giada De Laurentiis met her at like a book signing, which that was my mecca, honestly.
Yeah.
She's so tiny, but sometimes I hate watch her too because I can't stand
Yes.
when she switches out of fucking nowhere. You're like, today we're gonna be making the pasta. I'm like, okay, no, that's
prosciutto.
but that's prosciutto. I'm like, no, that's not.
That's how you talk.
I know it
Andrew.
is how I
I'm
talk, but,
sorry.
like, but in a different way. It would be like, I guess it is like my Long Island Italian accent that would come out, and hers is like actually Italian. So who am I to say? But it would come out of left field.
Right.
Mascarpone.
It always felt a little bit put on
yes.
in many ways.
I'm
But
sure
she's
it was.
gorgeous.
Stunning.
Stunning.
Did she have a thing with Bobby Flay, or did I make that up?
No, but I feel like there was always a vibe between the two of them.
There was always sexual tension.
I think I picked up on sexual tension on the Food Network for the first time.
At too young of an age.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't that young.
I was like shipping chefs together.
Yeah.
I feel like Ina Garten was also always like someone who would make such a crazy sexual remark out of nowhere. And I'd be like, this is like my grandma suddenly doing something insane.
The episode that stays with me forever is when
Jeffrey.
her and Jeffrey are in the backyard in their tent, and she opens the tent and she goes, "If the tent is a rockin', don't come knockin'." I'm like, okay,
we were like
so
15,
you're
we were like,
having sex.
replay it, go back.
Thank you to our sponsor, Rocket RX.
Do you ever experience erectile dysfunction? You're not alone.
Andrew, can you tell me about a time in your life where maybe there was like a potential chance that you experienced erectile dysfunction?
A potential chance?
Yes.
I have a lot of chances that I experience it, actually, because sometimes I get really in my head. And then I can't perform the way that I need to.
Well, I have amazing news for you because you can get trusted FDA-approved treatments for ED at a lower price than branded alternatives with Rocket RX.
And it's delivered straight to your door in discreet plain packaging. No in-person appointments or pharmacy visits needed.
It's better sex.
Made simple.
For listeners, you can get 20% off your first order with the code GOODCHILDREN.
Go to rocketrx.com and enter code GOODCHILDREN at checkout for 20% off your first order.
That's 20% off your first order at rocketrx.com using code GOODCHILDREN at checkout.
Follow the link in the description.
Okay, so sorry, you were doing your book and that got you into designing.
Graphic design, yeah.
Okay.
Naturally. So then, but then I started doing graphic design and I was getting a lot of work. But then I realized like, I hate working for a corporate because you're designing for people who has no design eye. And when you make something, it goes through like million revisions with different people. But sometimes some people will just put in an input just to feel like they've done something.
Yeah.
When like it wasn't
like giving
necessary.
useless feedback.
So then after a while, I got burnt out and I was like, I don't want to do this. But then drag came at a perfect time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Did you teach yourself graphic design? Or like
No, I
like
went to
your
a
book?
school for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Like for college.
Yeah.
But in high school you were also still doing graphic design?
Yeah, for a yearbook.
So did you teach yourself that? Did you teach yourself that there? Like how'd you start it?
I'm trying to think. The previous like the editors in chief taught me how to use InDesign,
Okay.
and the program is like not. It's pretty easy to
Yeah.
like figure it out. Yeah. You
still
just have to learn
design
like
today?
picas and
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that how you got? I mean, like when you paint your face, it's amazing, obviously. But is that like your creativity, your artistic ability coming from graphic design?
I like to think so. I've been an artist my entire life. So
Yeah.
I've been like
Yeah,
painting,
clearly.
sculpting, and all
Yeah.
that ever since I was a little baby,
Glass
and my
blowing.
entire like life. So, and there's always some like art form that I'm like trying to get into.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What's your next art form?
What are we monetizing next? Yeah.
I don't know if it's an art form, but I've always wanted to get into
Say it. Say it.
sourdough.
Yes,
That's
is
a
an
great
art
one.
form.
Someone said like sourdough starter is like Tamagotchi for adults.
Yeah.
Because you have to keep it alive. It's your little
Yeah.
pet. I've seen those TikToks that are like the 200-year-old sourdough starter in people's families' lines. I'm like, that starter has seen more history than it should. It has to be put to rest.
It has to be make the bread.
There's this one like sourdough lady I follow on TikTok, and she names her sourdough starters Adam and Eve. And she always makes like different loaves of bread,
And
and
she's like, this one's Adam's.
yeah.
I don't
it's
know how that really
religious.
works. I don't understand the sourdough science.
Yeah, me
I don't
either.
fully get it either, and I've tried it back in Chicago, and I failed miserably.
How did it fail? What happened?
It just like wasn't rising,
Yeah.
and I was using so much flour. I'm like, all right, this isn't worth it if it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in California, maybe things will be different.
Yeah,
I feel
maybe.
like you'll be able to accomplish it.
Yeah.
It seems like you're able to accomplish whatever you put your mind to. Your glass blowing, your designing.
And if people were doing it
drag.
during COVID, I feel like I saw so many sourdoughs being pumped
Yeah.
out. Like, you're going to make sourdough bread. It's going to be great. Would you make a little design on the top?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful little scoring.
Yeah. Like, you know how a lot of people watch these like ASMR videos? I
Yeah.
watch like a lot of like sourdough baking and like scoring
Yeah.
videos.
And, like, even hearing the crack of the crust.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
When they like squeeze it and it goes
Yeah.
crunch. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like the worst in a
You're like
supermarket.
squirming.
I'm
over
squirming.
that.
Well, because like that shit like does get me going in a weird way, unfortunately. But like when I'm in the supermarket and I see bread or anything,
You have to press it.
I have
Me
to
too.
press
Me
it.
too.
You have
I'm like
to.
listening to it.
Uh-huh.
It's like bizarre. People are like, Andrew, stop touching everything. I'm like, no, it's not good.
You
No,
live
it's
to
not good.
squeeze.
At least you're not like going into the bag and touching
Yeah,
it. You know,
right.
like
Are,
if it's packaged, a gentle press won't
Yeah.
hurt. You know.
were you at, I don't know why this just came out of nowhere now about a supermarket conversation,
No,
but like
please.
when you pass by like the produce in the supermarket or like grapes or anything, were you popping your fingers in there and trying them?
No.
People, I was doing
Yeah, we know. Yeah, of course.
You guys,
were.
I feel like I want to know if anybody else was doing that too. My parents would do it all the time. That's horrible. They would go by, they would taste the grapes to make sure that you wanted to buy them.
My mom would occasionally do this, and I became the police. I would be like, "Stop immediately, or I'm leaving, or I'm telling someone."
But they're like, how do you know if it's good?
And I'm like, "That's not my business."
I know, and that was passed down. So
In grocery stores, sometimes like I see people like opening a bag of potato chips and then eating them like while they shop and then like
Yeah.
paying for it later. I would feel like I was like stealing if I was doing
Yes,
that.
my mom would also do that, and I would spend the entire supermarket trip in panic and fear. that we were
Pretending
gonna-
like I
We're
don't know
paying
her,
for
like
it.
I'm not with her, you
I'm
know.
Like, I'm like 7.
Yes.
And like I'm here alone. Actually, were you a good child?
Oh, I was such a good child. Like I
Yeah.
never did anything bad. I never, except when I was 16, and my mom's like she had visa issues, so we went and lived in Korea for a year.
Okay.
So then I decided to live with my grandmother in Seoul, and then my mom and my brother and my dad like lived in like the south like countryside where my dad was working. And that year, when I fully came out of my gay shell, I went to like online message boards and I found out there's all these like groups for like gay youth to like
Yeah.
gather together in Korea and just like, you know, meet and feel like, you know,
Yeah.
you're not alone in this world. So then I started going to those meetups. And then one thing led to another. We were sneaking into nightclubs and bars at 16.
what's
And-
the drinking age there?
I think 18 or 20.
Okay.
Or I think it's 20. I don't know. I mean, we shouldn't. I
16.
should not have been
No
going to
matter
those
what.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But like we sit at the bars and then order like martinis, and I couldn't drink them because
Classy.
it was like so strong, and I don't
Yeah.
drink. But you know, I feel so like fancy being 16-year-old, like sitting
Yeah, I
at
was
a
gonna
bar.
say.
16
like,
with a martini is crazy.
I'm funneling beers and you're drinking martinis. That's
that was like a
Nice.
wild year for me. Like I don't even know why like no one questioned us because we clearly looked young.
yeah.
Right. But I feel like that was probably a very formative year in your life. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Did
When
you feel
did
a
you
lot
come
of guilt?
out?
I came out when I was 25, I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
So that's we were 20 and 21. I feel like whenever we tell anyone that, they're always like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like it
It's
took a
not that-
second.
no, it's not that old
Yeah.
either.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like when you knew for that long, like it
Yeah.
feels like a fucking lifetime. That you're like, okay, I'm gay, and they're like, well, yes, of course you are.
And everyone's like, "Oh, we've known all along. We're just waiting for you to tell us."
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Like,
is so annoying.
I
It's
know.
Like, and could you have told
Just be
me?
happy
yeah,
for
exactly.
me.
Why
You know,
don't you
just
ask
say
me?
like,
You're
"Oh,
I did.
Yeah.
Like everyone was keeping the secret from me.
Yeah,
Like, it's actually
literally.
worse.
It is funny when you think about it that way because it's like there are so many people that would be like, "Are you gay?" And I'm like, "No," and then you come out and they're like, "We always knew
know.
it," and I'm like, "Why didn't you say anything?" Like
Literally.
literally, that's fucked
And they
up.
did.
And they did. They tried.
You're like you're being homophobic.
Yeah, actually. Well, I wasn't ready to receive it, so stop. Okay, 25.
25 years. Well, I mean, I was out to my friends and things.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
When I came out to my mom was when I was 25.
Okay.
so,
And your mom didn't know that you were on Drag Race, right?
yeah.
Okay. How was that?
So financially, I knew she was struggling, so I sent
Yeah.
her some money. And being a nosy Asian mom she is, she Googled my email address and then found all this kimchi stuff.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And she calls me up, and the first thing she asks me is, "How much money do you make doing this?" And I told her, and she was like, "Keep living your dream."
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I mean that's the best possible case scenario you could have for that,
Yeah.
I feel like.
And for I think Asian parents, you know, they just don't want to see you struggle.
Yeah.
And to them, success equates to a financial success.
Right.
Yeah.
And you found financial success, so good for you. you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know. I think that I have until I realize I still can't buy a house in LA.
Yeah. Well,
Stop.
I feel like before I went to LA the first time, they were like, the food's not even that good. And then I feel like when I came
Those
here
are
last year,
haters.
they're haters. I had amazing food.
LA has
The best.
everything you can imagine except bagels and pizza.
And that's fine.
It's
Like,
because of the water. The water is so like that's why
water's
like
hard.
Brooklyn bagels are so good is because of the water, like the tap water. But I feel like I'm shocked that they don't have good bagels here.
yeah, I
What
mean
was the
there
f-
there are
bagel?
places that make decent bagels, But like you go and anything with topping and all that, it's like $15-$20.
Yeah.
And that's not the bagel culture in New
Yeah,
York.
that's crazy.
Bagels should not cost that
bagels are
much.
getting fucking expensive in New York.
Oh, really?
Oh my
I
God.
mean, if you're being lazy, like I've done Uber Eats, and I'm not joking. I've seen a $25 bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel. Like $25.
Can you imagine? Like, I better be massaging my feet.
I'm gonna start. Yeah,
I'm like, for $25? Come on, get over
crazy.
it. It is crazy. But I feel like the food culture here, too, in general. We went to lunch the other day, and Joe ordered just
Oh
like a
my
normal
God.
entree, and it was the smallest thing I've ever seen.
Where'd you
for
go?
$25.
It was like someplace.
It was in Beverly Hills.
Wow. Yeah, the foodies like never go to Beverly Hills or WeHo for.
yeah.
That's the place you go to, like cocktails, drinks, clubbing.
The food I've experienced on this trip. Have you been to Pizza Palace?
Oh yes,
We had
the
that
Indian
the other
pizza.
day. That was crazy. That was incredible.
On Silver Lake, there's also a place called Spoon and Pork that makes really good Filipino food.
Okay. Maybe we do that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like Filipino food, it's definitely like the place to go.
I feel like we're repeating places already in like our week here, so it's time to branch out.
I have all the recommendations if you need.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
please.
going to ask you. This is less localized. What's your favorite like chain restaurant?
Oh. I know I feel a lot of pressure because I know you guys love your chain restaurants.
We do. Which is a read on us.
Not a read, because chain restaurant is what I raised up on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel.
Oh
my
my
God.
that's such a good answer.
I'm so happy you said that.
Cracker Barrel. No one makes pancakes like Cracker Barrel does.
No.
And no one makes them in as long of a time period.
Yes.
You're getting those in 45 minutes minimum.
And they're like play checkers while you wait.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'll do that.
And then the side dishes though are all fire.
Yeah.
But I always have to like remind myself to order something green, because then you just get like a plate of like brown and gray.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So like, please like give me some like spinach or
Yeah.
something.
Mac and
There's
cheeses,
no
biscuits.
experience because you walk into that old country gift shop,
Yes.
which you could spend 10 hours in.
Yeah.
And
Just
you
the candy
usually
section.
have to.
Yes.
Just the candy section. I'm like, I haven't had a jawbreaker in so long. Those things are huge. I'm gonna shove
Huge.
it in
And
my
they come in like big packs.
big
yeah.
packs.
And then again, I do feel like my quintessential Cracker Barrel experience is like a road trip with my family,
Yes.
and like I'm trying to mediate like my parents' stress about how long the food is taking, and I'm like, it's fine. I asked to come here because we need to be here, so everyone
Just, like,
just
relax,
relax.
you know?
The food will come at some point.
And also, I'm the type of person when I eat, I like to eat a variety of things. The fact that you get to choose like 3 or 4 side dishes,
Yeah.
and it's like included in the price.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive. I mean, like I haven't been in a while, but
No,
it
it's
was
still like
never
really
that
like reasonable.
Yeah.
Given
I love that you can just. I love a restaurant where you could buy a rocking chair.
yes,
That's so
there's so many
important.
rocking chairs at
it's
the
so
front.
convenient.
But for these people, just like, do people buy these?
Yeah, they do.
I can't imagine
I'm
doing so.
pretty sure that once I went with my parents, my mom bought a they'll like send it to you. I think that's what the thing is.
Oh,
Is
that
you'd be like, I
would make
want these, and they'll send them to you.
Do people enjoy sitting in a rocking chair? Because I don't.
It's scary. It's like a
The
roller
whole time
coaster.
you're like, "Keek, keek."
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily comfortable. I guess if you're wearing like putting like cushions and stuff on them.
But I just feel like I would immediately go all the way back.
All the way back.
I would push my limits.
Well,
Because like
because then you're
the
always trying to
stereotype
push
of like how I imagine like Southern American home to be is like old white lady in a rocking chair, like knitting, you
Yeah.
know,
With,
with like a
sweet
cup of
tea.
tea. Or, yes,
Yeah.
Sweet tea.
Like a cat.
yes.
What is the
Yeah.
purpose of like? Is it just to like
I don't know.
make you calm? Is it like a calming presence? I
You
feel
might
like
need a
Like, get a
rocking
fidget
chair.
I
spinner.
feel like
you know?
every
Yeah.
chair I need to sit in is a rocking chair.
You can make any chair a rocking chair if you really believe. I'm always like
Well-
pushing back on a chair.
You're always
Gink,
tooching a
gink,
little bit.
I'm
live to
tooching as
tooch?
best as I possibly can at all times.
Yeah. I am back to Cracker Barrel, and I'll leave it there. I'm happy that we didn't live near a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Because that would have spoiled the experience for me. But like the idea of traveling an hour and a half to New Jersey was everything I needed.
It really was.
And it made New Jersey special.
That and Wawa.
Yeah.
I wish we had a Wawa.
Yeah.
Same. That's my.
Philadelphia, right? Yeah.
Whenever I went to, and the pretzels they have at a Wawa
Yes.
are
So
insane.
good. The sandwiches.
Yeah.
Amazing sandwiches at Wawa.
But I love their cream cheese filled pretzel.
Yeah.
Nothing better than anything cream cheese filled, in my opinion.
You know what's a good sandwich here in LA? I don't know if it's like a national chain. Do you have Sprouts where you're from?
No,
No.
Sprouts.
Sprouts. It's a grocery store. I mean, don't go out of your way to go here.
We're like going to the
But if you like
Sprouts,
happen to be at
Sprouts,
one,
yeah.
get a sandwich from Sprouts because
Okay.
you basically get to choose all the stuff that goes in, and you get to choose your bread, but it's all fresh and delicious,
Ooh.
and it's cheap.
I love that.
It's like
And
$5.99.
I need to ask because I just have had horrible experiences every single time I've went. But like, what are your thoughts on In-N-Out? Like, genuinely, what is your experience at In-N-Out with the
So
burgers
I
and the fries?
think In-N-Out is great, especially for the price point.
Yes.
But it's only good if you get it hot.
Why is it always being served to me cold?
The moment you get it, and it turns cold, it congeals.
Yes.
You can't eat it cold. It has to be
Okay.
piping hot.
I think that's why each 3 of the times I went, the animal style fries were just cold cheese on my fries, and I would pick up one fry and it would be a block of cheese.
See, actually, I don't like the fries at In-N-Out. A lot of people are like, "Yo, you're supposed to get them like well done, crispy," but even then, it's like crispy cardboard.
Yeah.
Instead, I skipped the fries, but then I get one double animal style,
Okay.
and then I get a cheeseburger animal style.
Okay.
Which is basically like just like their burger, but without the patty.
Oh.
But it's still really good. It's weirdly like refreshing because you get all the veggies and then
Yeah.
all the like
Ooh,
cheese and
right.
everything on it.
Wait,
So
guys, I can't do this. I'm starving. I'm literally.
We had I think Andrew's was it your no, it was your second In-N-Out experience. We were in Seattle, I want to say, right? After our live show,
No,
we
it
were
was San
riding
Francisco.
San Francisco. We were riding a high. We were like, "This is an amazing night. Let's get In-N-Out." And we're sitting in the In-N-Out. First of all, San Francisco, I did not know after 9 p.m. it just goes pitch black. There's no there. We were staying in a very businessy area. There was nothing. We were in a closed down mini mall of sorts, and in the center of that mall was the only thing open, which was the In-N-Out.
and it was like packed.
Yes,
people,
and
yeah.
otherwise though it was a scary abandoned business park feeling. And me and Andrew are sitting there. We're like, oh my god,
That show was
riding that
amazing.
high of doing a show, and this man walks up to the both of us, and he just introduces himself. He stares
Well,
at us. Well,
he
oh
came.
no, he
No, Joe,
introduced.
it was
oh my
scary.
god,
It was scarier than you thought. I saw
forgot.
this man from the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, something's up here. He keeps going up to people, so I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna eat my cheeseburger. All of a
Forgot how
sudden,
it started.
Joe's sitting across from me. The man's coming around from behind me. I just see you clock him. Did he tap me on the shoulder?
Andrew, he didn't tap you on the shoulder. Andrew was. I could tell that Andrew was aware of the presence. I saw him. He goes like this.
Yes, he started feeling my arms, and at first I kind of was like,
You're like, who is it?
and then I'm like, no, this is gonna be an issue. I fear.
And he just, I think there was a good 60 seconds of just silence
Yeah.
from all 3 of us. And then he was like, I am a homosexual.
Silence, and we were like this. Yes.
And you're like, would you like to penetrate?
Oh,
Well, and he was like, I am a bottom.
and we were like,
We were like,
all
okay.
right.
All right.
And he was like, and I would like to peg either one of you.
And I was like, that one threw me for the loop.
But you're
because I
like,
was
sir,
this
I'm eating a
peg.
burger.
Well, that was number 1. And milkshakes.
I was like, hold on. You're contradicting yourself because you just said you're a bottom, but then you want to peg me. I'm like, something's off here. So you're
Like right after I eat a burger and a milkshake. Like,
I'm like, so you're a reverse top.
And
is
we
what you're saying.
sat in silence, the 3 of us again, just I think all of us processing what just happened. And then I think I just looked up at him and I was like, thank you. And then he just he just left. And then me and Andrew, obviously, we grabbed the milkshakes, we grabbed the fries, and
like we gotta go.
ran out
Yeah.
of the place. Back to
I
the
was
empty-
like, I was nervous.
you were shaken up.
I was really shaken up.
You might need a better In-N-Out experience after that.
I know.
You need a palate cleanser.
I really think I think it was that experience, honestly, that has set it off for
Soured
me.
it.
I'm kind of I never want to
Because
go
then
back.
you sucked down that milkshake on the walk and ate the fries.
And I didn't even enjoy it.
No.
Yeah.
It was panic.
Can I say something brave yet controversial?
Please
My favorite fast food burger place.
say it.
Oh God,
Oh my God. I'm so.
White Castle.
They're good.
They're good.
They're really good.
And
They're
it's, I feel like it's such a cool thing to hate on White Castle because
Yeah.
they're so different and off the hook.
Different's a nice way to say it, actually.
But they're tiny little morsels of delicious little.
Mini.
But the thing is, it's you can eat those like chips. I could have 12 of these, and I can see how it can get really, really scary, really, really quick.
See,
But it
everybody hates on
melts in
White
your mouth.
Castle until you show up to a party with a crave case when everybody's drunk
Oh, I would lose my fucking
and
mind.
you're the hero of the party.
Because it's also everyone wants to act like we don't love sliders.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And White Castle really, I feel was the original slider.
Mhm.
Those really, and
It kind of is the perfect party snack.
it is
Yeah.
the perfect party snack.
And it looks cool. It looks like a nice like hospital gift
Yes.
for
Yeah.
a party guest that invited you. You know,
If you showed up to one of our parties with a what is it called?
Crave
a
case?
A
Yes.
crave case. I think I would drop to my knees.
and I would do half American cheese and half jalapeno cheese
Oh my god.
with pickles and mustard and ketchup already on it.
There's nothing better, actually. There really isn't. Because it's like, there's a flavor to White Castle that's no one else can possibly
Yes,
replicate.
and the
There is-
texture.
'cause
Yeah.
it's like not, it's the idea
soft.
of a burger, but it is something else entirely. It's almost a truffle.
And it's like,
Truffle.
and if you just want like a little nosh, you don't have to commit to a full burger.
Yes.
You just get like the flavor of like this burger air that goes
exactly.
down your throat. Yeah.
It's in the air. Because then also your car is going to smell like White Castle for 2 weeks,
2 weeks.
afterwards.
Yes, absolutely.
White Castle really is the Lindt chocolate of
It
burgers.
is.
Oh my
It
God,
almost
it
melts in
is,
your mouth.
yes.
It's like it really melts in your mouth.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
You just changed my whole perspective on White Castle. You eat meat though.
I eat meat,
of
yeah.
course.
I eat meat, but like I love vegetables more. Does not say like, but people when I say that people think I hate meat, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
I love meat, but I just love vegetables more.
I wish I loved vegetables more.
I really.
When's the
barely
last time
eat
we had
it
a
so
we had a
bad.
salad yesterday.
Oh well, that was thank God. Thank
God, because if
for
we
the
could-
LA bottom diet.
For that
But there's
one
something
day.
about salad, the confidence it gives you.
Yeah.
Whenever I eat salad as a meal, I feel like I become the skinniest person.
Yes.
I feel like I did my homework for the day.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I did something right, and I feel like my life is together when I eat a salad for
Yes.
a
I
meal.
completely agree, but I somehow I'm like hungrier when I'm done.
Yeah, of course. Well,
Because
as
I'm
you've
like,
always
huh?
told me, a salad expands your stomach.
Because my family always ate, but that made no sense though. Why were we doing that though? If a salad expands your stomach, we were always finishing with the salad. You would have your whole entire meal and then end your meal with a salad. Huh. That's a little bit bizarre. Yeah. We would have pasta, all of the courses end with salad.
But it makes sense because after eating all the rich food, maybe you want something like acidic
Light.
and like light to like break up all that rich
Yeah.
fat that's
A
like
palate
lingering in your
cleanser.
palate. Yeah.
I would like to start incorporating more palate cleansers into my diet.
Well, I love a lemon sorbet,
Oh.
and I think is a perfect palate cleanser.
An intermezzo.
absolutely.
Yeah.
If I ever get married, there will be an intermezzo.
Actually, intermezzo is a beautiful name for a baby boy.
Don't introduce that
You know, intermezzo will be a good drag name.
It would
Intermezzo.
Intermezzo, yeah.
Oh,
Welcome to the stage, Intermezzo.
be. And she's always in the middle of 2 numbers.
Yes.
She's always the intermezzo.
Yes. And she always performed like she's performing her second number on a Wednesday night.
Yes. Yeah.
sorbet. Wait, she's serving.
She's serving sorbet. Sorbet realness.
And the host will always say,
"I'm serving sorbet."
all right, now it's part of the show where we need a little palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Welcome to the stage.
Intermezzo.
Stop. I actually love her.
Yeah.
Yes, and then her drag family, Amuse Bush.
Stop.
Oh,
I feel
this sucks.
this room is so blessed.
Yeah, it really is so blessed.
It's a holy space. Obviously, I feel like from what I've learned from speaking to every single person who's ever done drag, it's the confidence. There's a layer of confidence that comes with the hair, the makeup, the looks that gets you to like perform in the way that you do. Did you know before like getting into it that it would be like such a vehicle for your success and like such a tool to tap into like your star power?
No, I feel like everything that's happening in my life, I never planned anything to be that way. I just like try to take everything like day by day and see what happens, and it just sort of happens.
Yeah.
Right.
So no, I didn't see it coming.
It just kind of was. It slowly. When did you like have that first moment when you were like, "Oh wait, this could really be something"?
After I performed for the first time, a couple months after I started doing drag, I went to like a random circuit party in drag, and then that party promoter asked me to be their host, and then next thing you know, I was hosting everyone at their party, and I was hosting like a ton of different like circuit parties and various parties in Chicago, and that's basically how I got started.
Yeah.
So then I always turned these crazy looks that would only like last for like one party, and I'll post them on social media, and that was a thing. And I think it was about a year and a half I started doing drag. Do you know like Trevor Raines from Hegyes? Fashion designer that was like big in like the Y2K era.
Okay.
So my home bar at the time like had him as like a guest, and then we were just like sitting at dinner, and I was like out of drag, and then I told him like, oh, what do you do? And it's like, oh, I'm Kimchi. And I showed him my picture, and he's like, oh, you're that girl? And I was like, what do you
Oh.
mean? And he was like, oh, you're on my mood board. And he showed me like a picture of like a mood board of like for like his next collection that just like randomly had my like
That's
my
crazy.
picture in there. Yeah. And
must've been a
this is
wild
before like I
experience.
was like on Drag Race and
Right.
like that,
Yeah.
so and,
And you were like, okay, people are actually looking at me for their inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
like a designer, you know,
Yeah.
so like that was huge.
Like that's
Like,
really, really, really an insane experience.
Yeah.
So you started drag in 25, you said, and right?
I started doing drag in 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you started?
Oh my god, was I 25?
25.
Yeah.
And then when did you go on Drag Race? How many years?
2 years after that.
Wow.
And it was your first time auditioning, right?
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
also such a validating experience.
Yeah.
Obviously, at that point, you also knew you were like, obviously, like, I'm bringing something unique to this table. If you got accepted the first time applying, I feel like people apply for years.
I know.
It's crazy.
And I think it was also one of the things that felt like it was like right place, right time.
Yeah.
Because season 7 didn't have an Asian queen.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are like, where's the Asian queen? Where's the Asian queen? And then someone leaked a rumor saying that there was a secret Asian queen on season 7 that they haven't like revealed yet. And then because I was friends with like Pearl, Trixie,
Yeah.
and I worked with like a lot of other girls like that was in the cast, people just assumed it was me for some reason.
Oh.
So they're like, oh, can't wait for Kimchi to be revealed. And every day I was getting a ton of messages from fans saying like, when are you going to reveal you, girl? And I'm like, I'm not on the season.
Yeah, like, that would be crazy.
I'd
if I
be like,
came out
wait,
of
am
nowhere.
I on the season? Like,
They're gaslighting you. It's like, I'm on this season, right?
So the next season, then I applied and I was like, oh, maybe like I'll have a better chance because like my name was like going around like, in
Yeah.
the circle. But then I actually got on.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
What was
Yeah.
that feeling when you got like? Did you get a call? Is
It was a call. I think it was like a Skype call.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're like, congratulations, you're a root girl now. And I'm like, yay. But then also like, I gotta prepare.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, what is it, like 5 weeks?
So no, the girls nowadays get so much time.
Really?
Our season had week and a half.
You're kidding.
a week and a half?
Week and a half, yeah.
That's actually so
What?
crazy.
And granted, our season was like a shorter season, but I mean, getting all those like specific looks
Yeah,
in a
for,
week and
in
a
a
half.
week and a half?
Yeah.
I feel like that's impossible.
And I felt especially gypped because the season after our season 9, it was like when they moved from MTV, like from Logo,
Yeah.
and they also got like 5 weeks like to get ready.
Wow.
So I was like, I could have just waited one more year, but I mean, things worked out the way
It seems
did,
like
yeah.
everything
so,
has
yeah.
worked out for the best, truly. And it is so, you're such an inspiration. Like what you have done with your career thus far is truly incredible. And it's an honor to have you here.
Truly.
No, thank you. It's an honor to be here with y'all.
And it's an honor that you listen to us because we consume your content and we're like, oh
Yeah.
my God. But, all right. You want to listen to our childhood trauma? I love. I love.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Kim Chi's State of the Union. Applebee's,
In,
TGI Fridays,
out,
Chipotle,
in,
Cheesecake Factory,
in,
PF Chang's,
out,
Olive Garden,
in,
Red Lobster,
in,
IHOP,
out.
Panera Bread.
Out because I haven't been impressed lately. They used to have like a you pick 2 and that was like a good value. I'll get
The
the
menu's
Frontega chicken
changing.
panini and French onion stew.
Mhm.
But I feel last time I went, they didn't have the Frontega chicken panini.
The Frontega, yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, they said
It's gone.
You know, gone. Like,
Frontega
shut it
that
down. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're done.
And then Chili's.
Chili's. You know, every time I eat at Chili's for whatever reason, I always think I'm gonna have a good time. But I find myself just not enjoying myself with any of the thing.
Yeah.
But the quesadilla explosion salad back in
Oh my god.
Back in the day.
back in the Y2K era, the
Yeah.
chokehold it had on me.
Yeah.
I do love their chips and salsa.
yeah, they're so
Yes, the
good.
chicken
I think they
salsa.
have an-
And their
Cra-
chicken fingers. Are those the beer battered? That we've talked about this.
Not with me.
I haven't talked to you about the battered chicken tenders.
Maybe you
Gotta be Chili's. Gotta be.
You're getting chicken tenders at Chili's?
When I was a kid, I was.
Okay, yeah, I guess that
And
makes
they
sense.
stuck with me.
Did y'all ever try Bennigan's back in the day?
Yes.
What is it called?
Bennigan's. It was an
No.
Irish themed chain restaurant that was like all over the world.
I remember
Wait, I can't believe I
Bennigan's.
missed this.
Yeah.
Was there one on Long Island?
I'm not sure. We took a lot of road trips, my family, and like we would only stop at chain restaurants the whole road trip. So
Were
it
they
was-
serving like shepherd's pie?
So they have this one specific dish that is so iconic to them, and I miss it. And maybe it's for the best.
What was it?
Monte Cristo It's some ham, turkey, and cheese
Yeah.
in a sandwich that is deep fried,
No.
coated with powdered sugar, served with this really good raspberry jam.
Stop. It's just
That
like,
sounds everything that
it's
I
exactly
need. Like,
your
I love
vibe.
sweet and savory. Oh my god.
And it was like a big, fat, hefty sandwich.
Stop. The way I'm starving is insane.
No, it's like, where are we eating after this?
Good children to the guidance office.
Hey, Joe and Andrew, it's James B from Brooklyn again. Hi, Kimchi. So my question for you is, in all of your travels, is there a place that you've been to that has surprised you, whether that be when expecting it to make you feel isolated and it was actually super accepting and comfortable, or maybe the opposite, a place you were expecting to be super fun and inviting and maybe wasn't? I'm just wondering because I know you've gone all over the place and I love you so much. Okay, bye. Mwah.
The place that surprised me the most was Taiwan. I think I was in South Korea at the time for a gig, and my agent was like, "Hey, we got an offer from Taiwan to hop over there." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever. Like, I love to go to as many different Asian places as I can. Like, I'll just go in and out." I went there. I fell in love.
Really?
And I didn't know anything about Taiwan prior to going there, but the president is a lesbian. They're very accepting of the LGBTQI plus community. It is super safe. Everything is very affordable. It is a food haven. The food everywhere is so cheap, so good. There's like a million night markets.
YouTube videos of Taiwanese night markets.
Yes, they're amazing. To the point where I extended my trip. And now whenever I go to Taiwan, I stay for like 2 weeks, like minimum, because I love it so much there.
Wow, I gotta go.
Gotta get to Taiwan.
Yes.
You've been to Pine and Crane, I'm sure.
Yes, Pine and Crane is great.
Yeah.
Are you into vegan food?
A little bit, yeah. I was vegetarian for a while, so
Okay.
I dipped my toe into the vegan space. Why? Is there a good vegan place?
So there's a restaurant called Olivia in Cape Town. I think they're only open like Wednesday through Sunday.
Okay.
But because it's vegan, like don't think it's like, because some
Yeah.
vegan restaurants, the food tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
But this place, everything tastes like a really good dish.
Okay.
And not like you don't even think that it's vegan.
Olivia.
Yeah.
Olivia.
Okay, great.
Something about Olivia. You're like,
What does that mean? Is that a reference to something?
No, I was making it something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on today.
Yeah, thank you for having
This was so
me.
much fun.
Yeah, it was so great. It was
I feel like we
really
just talked about food the entire time.
Well,
Listen,
it's what we can talk about for hours, so that's
Same.
unfortunate, but literally.
obviously everyone knows where to find you, but
Mm-hmm.
tell everyone what's going on, what's new.
So you can find me at my Instagram or TikTok. TikTok is Kimchi Eats. Instagram is Kimchi_shake. I have a food podcast that I record with John Kong on a weekly basis. It's called One for the Table, where you can find it any place that has podcasts. I have a makeup company called Kimchi Shake Beauty, where you can find great makeup products all over the world. We're also in CVS and JCPenney in America at the moment. And then Shoppers London in Canada, Douglas. Sorry, a lot of places.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
so
amazing.
impressive.
Yeah.
It's like so. I'm like beaming at you like a proud parent,
Yeah.
as if I had anything to do with the success. But it's just it's amazing to hear it all. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to Kimchi herself for joining us today, and thank you to Spotify for having us.
You know where to find us across all social media platforms at Good Children Pod. I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella, on TikTok at Andrew_Muskie.
I'm on Instagram at Joe Hegyes and on TikTok at Be Quiet Joe. And don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon.
Please.
One extra bonus episode, video and audio, every single Friday. So if you can't get enough of Good Children, get even more for just $7 a month.